So this thing could do the same job that I could do on my skateboard, and it's crazy. And it kind of makes sense. Doesn't argue or anything. Doesn't have to have people harass him. Doesn't like the same, kind as him or it's her, but that wouldn't even judge that either way. Ooh, man. I like Waymos, but the Serbots are pretty cool, so, I don't know, dude. I just don't get any work. I 100% don't get any health care in America, and it's just simple as that. And it kind of makes sense because, if a foreigner is just more I guess you could say not even just manipulative, but if they're just more charismatic than you, then there's nothing really that you could do. I mean, yeah, it's basically nothing that you could really do. So, I'm basically getting harassed by Los Angeles. It's very dystopian as far as I think one person kind of put it well, or decent enough. He was like, this is a communist dream. So kind of makes sense. But I don't really have anything particularly against communism, but at the same time, I literally just have autism, dude. I don't even go to school. I don't obviously work. I mean, you think anybody's gonna hire me with just 3 months of experience? Who is that huge founder? And he just could not get a job. It took everything in him to get a job. Nobody would give him a job. KFC. So the actual founder of KFC could never get a job. It's just basically impossible. It's why does he have to get it when it's old? So you don't get health care, you don't get insurance, you just get a job, at the end of your life. And sure, I mean, he made it a great franchise, but I mean, dude, come on, this, the times that we're in is not indicative of the dilemmas that we had in the old world. I don't think you would say modern. It's really not that modern. And also, a very huge trope with all these arguments is that most people just jot it down to, well, you're essentially making excuses to try to redirect responsibility, essentially. Actually, no, that's actually what the county does. Or just, I don't know why you even call it a county. It's just a city. Los Angeles does that. And, yeah, I mean, I don't even get to have a desk to write on. And I know people could say, well, just go to the library. Have you ever been to the Los Angeles library? It's not like a New York library where they might have it pretty safe some days. No, it's dangerous in there all the time, essentially. People trying to steal your stuff, people literally trying to be able to do drugs while they're in there. I'm not kidding. And also, I've noticed that Los Angeles has real instances of retaliating against their citizens. So, I know there's not a lot of examples, and we could use like China, I guess Israel, you know? That'd be great for me to do, but I'm not going to do that just for the sake of being inclusive for everybody. Shout out to Israel though. So the thing is that essentially this is the same kind of thing that they're doing in Iran. It's not even America, and even if it is, like, you think that anybody's gonna give me a break? They're gonna be like, yeah, he's kind of been talking, you know, a lot about the county, the city of Los Angeles, and our various services and resources. Yeah, maybe we could just cut him a break. It's just fine. It's like, no, they're actually really offended. Like, it doesn't even have to impact them personally or professionally to affect a Los Angelinos or an Angelinos county worker or city worker. And I know I mentioned Santa Monica too. It's like, I don't even really have anything against Santa Monica either. I didn't have a problem with anybody except San Pedro. Especially like the residents in San Pedro that have a car, have a place to live, and is like barely acceptable into the community, but like not even really. And yeah, they're just doing super huge drugs. They could be intoxicated behind the wheel. The police don't really care, you know, because they don't want to get harassed themselves. This is just an aversion from harassment. Is that basically what like communism is when you're trying to avoid it? Like, you're just trying to escape the inescapable idealism of basically escaping harassment. Everybody wants to be able to basically not be bothered, but Los Angeles will know about that because they let a lot of criminals, you know, take advantage of their services and all this other stuff. I literally got kicked out of a shelter. Super terrible shelter, okay? That was negligent, hostile, like just very rude and like, you know, being ridiculous. And discriminatory and dangerous. Very simple. And they kicked me out while they kept somebody that literally was trying to smuggle contraband that was of a, I'm trying to think of a controlled substance, okay? Trying to conceal the fact that he's trying to sneak and smuggle in contraband that is illegal substances. Very simple. It's like, yeah, I don't want to hear anything about like anybody from Westwood. Why should I hear anything from UCLA? Dude, you know what UCLA has done to me, dude? Look at this thing. My eye is literally like, that's the other side. There's nothing there. Dude, what even is that? Is that just like one pimple? I don't think so. No. UCLA would feel too embarrassed. They would be like, oh my gosh, we couldn't resolve a pimple medically with our advanced healthcare services. Oh, let's definitely, you know, let him in our specialty doctors to treat him, and yeah, if he keeps talking about Los Angeles, we'll cancel his appointments even though we said he was eligible, and we'll make an exception for him. Freaking crazy. They did on December the 30th too. They scheduled it for December the 30th, and basically the same day. I mean, they said that they tried to contact me, but they didn't actually try to contact me, dude. And plus, I would get so many calls, I literally had to block them. Actually, I didn't even block them, but I blocked them through text. I would just deny their calls, dude. I remember those times when I would really criticize Los Angeles and like, oh, I'd get retaliated against. So 100%. It's basically like Trump's dream, but Los Angeles is doing it. Trump's like, he talked about the Epstein list. Don't give him any health care. He's got cancer inside of his right cheek. And then Donald Trump, knowing that like he has affiliations with like, you know, Diddy or some type of association with Diddy, and Diddy had association with Elon Musk, so it's like a whole triangle there. Don't they literally call the wheel or like the cycle of trafficking triangle a trafficking triangle, or like human trafficking? Epstein. Oh my gosh. I'm not saying anything else, dude. So, the point that I'm making is that, yeah, Los Angeles really retaliates. Really retaliates. Yes. I mean, like, dude, I have autism, and even I know that the city is corrupt, you know? So, I mean, but they're still going to say that's my fault, right? They're still going to say that's my fault, right? All those websites, everybody already knows what websites I talk about all the time. Doesn't matter what job you're in. Anybody could use those websites to get their services, because we're tired of this dating world. We're all tired of this dating world. We're all tired of this dating, online or offline world. We're all tired of it. We're tired, man. We're tired. And I'm not just talking about like men. I'm not even just talking about women. I'm talking about like everybody. Because when you include Epstein and Diddy, you think age is gonna matter?
Like it works, but I think
and those kids get retaliated against you with their parents, plus their friends, and even if they're not fully developed, they are still intelligent enough, even if they're not conscious of it. And if they are, then that's even more concerning, of making sure that they will threaten you for their own interests, and I mean for the adults especially, their fetishes. Yes, people will literally harm you, because like if it doesn't go beyond that F word, which I'm not going to repeat it, it goes to relationships, friendships, controversy. So yeah, I know I got a hotel for like a short amount of time. I appreciate Los Angeles anyway, whether I would have got a hotel or not, especially through 211, I mean. But listen, so there was plumbing issues and there was mold, but it's not even that I'm complaining about, like, you know, being in that space and like there's just not enough maintenance. It wasn't even that issue. The biggest issue was that, like, they'll pay for all these hotels, right? But they definitely won't, like, you know, help anybody with housing, especially more immediately, or especially somebody that literally retaliates against whole countries. And then they basically come at your doorstep, but get it? Like, yourself is your home. Or maybe you don't have personhood. Maybe, like, you're not at home. Because everybody would be like, what are you talking about? How are you at home? I'm like, are you not technically personal property? You are your own personal property. That's your personhood. That means that nobody could own you or anything, but yet trafficking happens all the time in America. Like, it's not even that you're brainwashed. You just don't want to accept the truth that there's trafficking in America. That's why African Americans will say slavery never ended, but they won't go so far as to condemn somebody that's done treacherous things to people of all ages and all demographics. And then, you know, even if not Donald Trump being your president hero or anything, you got people like me that really, you know, have various ailments, and I mean, to have cancer for basically saying that Donald Trump was on the Epstein list almost before anybody else. I mean, really, if you kind of think about it. And then I ended up getting the list itself, which I was the first to discover that Michael Jackson was on there. And I learned that before anybody else. And to top it off, I didn't have to go on any darker side of the internet to find it out. And the research was very easy. Well, I'll give it that if somebody's not, I guess, inclined intellectually enough, then maybe it's hard for them. But the point is, I put a lot out there. I mean, you think those celebrities are gonna come up to me and be like, "Hey, we heard you called us out, and now we're here to confront you, and we're gonna take you out." Because we own Hollywood, we own the police, and I'm like, well, if you want me to get conspiratorial about it, I'm not going to get conspiratorial about it. Then somebody would point out, like, wasn't Trump being on the Epstein list basically a conspiracy? So there basically are no more conspiracies. And I'm just like, well, I've had Los Angeles try to say that I'm schizophrenic or have paranoid personality disorder, but yet they have no proof or basis, especially would go to the extent of having a more public record of my medical clearing from any mental health services, or especially mental health to police intervention in my life. Right? Is that not right? I could literally school Los Angeles in a courtroom without no surgery. No surgery. Nothing. Not even dental surgery. Tooth's kind of lodged a certain way, and it's a little bit crooked. Well, the Federation doesn't seem to validate the uses of these funds for this medical purpose, and this is purely for cosmetics, which is not a necessity, and we hereby deny this services and resources. And I'm like, and as far as the tumor abscess in my sinus, contact cis, whatever it is, this is gonna be like, we're in recess, I don't want you talking over me. And then that's when, like, you really have to make sure that, you know, your adulthood is very well respected. Because if you don't, then basically the state, you're giving permission for the state to own you. But the state is corrupt and it has a lot of power, so basically they would just be like, you know what? We can detain you right now, but what we're going to do is we're just going to reschedule the hearing, and I'm going to give you another chance to behave yourself in court. I'm like, what do I have to behave myself for? Like, really, what do I have to behave myself for? Seriously. Like, forget about the things that I do acknowledge and I regret, and therefore would resolve it at any point with any kind of intervention, even community service. I've experienced so much community violence that I would probably get assaulted or just completely accosted in public, and I don't know, there'd be like a plot twist if there's any investigation that same community literally paid off to have it orchestrated. Paid off and to pay off to have it orchestrated. I'm like, San Pedro, I miss you. Miss you guys. I can hardly even talk right. I mean, seriously, it's terrible. It's probably just tumor, yeah. It's just cancer. Just walking by and I'm just like, hey, girlfriend, no problem, dude. I mean, couldn't even get a trans girl. I'm like, and if they went through a whole bunch of surgeries, get it like Botox, and like girls basically modifying themselves too, which is like very ironic when like women try to use those experiences they have with or without same sex or whatever. It's like the same thing that they do. I don't know. But
I don't know.
yeah, it's just very convoluted, very complex, or just a waste of time. Just a waste of time. I point at the planet because, you know, that logo for AT&T. I thought it would just be funny if like Earth was just in fact flat. Totally lied to, and like no research had to be done really, but you can still respect that the researchers tried to get it to a conclusion other than the fact, if it was a fact. Just a flat Earth and its layers. It's layers, Matthew. It's a triangle. Triangles have layers. They have layers. You ever seen a pyramid, Matthew? You realize that those have layers? And it takes all of this strength to put each block to create that pyramid. Matthew, do you understand that sometimes in life it's unfair and you don't get what you want exactly, but the process is always fulfilling when you make sure to follow the rules and do what's right? Oh my gosh, that's way too funny. Uh-oh. Oh my goodness, dude. if I said sorry to every single person I offended, do you think it would make a difference? Or do you think I'd just simply be unforgiven? I would be unforgiven. I get hit by a bus, nobody would care. But that's more like, you know, not just dealing with unforgiven, but I mean like basically a little covert nation. But like you're getting rid of somebody as nation at the end. Also, kind of already seen what happened to one guy get Charlie Kirk. So, I mean, is it really certain to say that I'm gonna get my health care? No. Hell no. Hell no. Just not at all. This is a long enough video anyway. But at least I get a good title. I haven't made the title yet, but I can only imagine, especially when, you know, a healthcare system or a hospital doesn't want to actually take care of me. And they also pull, you know, medical malpractice. And they pull medical malpractice by disabling and activating insurance, which is therefore insurance fraud. And also get insurance fraud. Like, the insurance obviously isn't going to approve it, and they're not going to feel inclined to approve it when a hospital makes it so hard for it to be approved in the first place, and therefore gets, you know, disapproved almost immediately. Also get it, making problems out of nothing. Also get it, yeah. It's problems out of nothing. But who does it better? Is it USC or is it UCLA? You gotta pick, you gotta choose. You have to choose. You can't pick no in-betweens. You have to pick which one's worse. So USC, you know, their dean, actually two of their deans got caught with SA or whatever. No, I think it was only one dean. I'm not too sure. I think it was one dean. Don't quote me on this. I'm just saying two deans as, I don't know, guesstimation, misinformation, or misinformation, guesstimation. Oh, shoot. But UCLA had a gynecologist, which I don't think that's for the stomach, a specialty doctor for the stomach. But yeah, this guy totally got caught up. Am I saying that, like, I wouldn't be the same way if I was doing that stupid stuff? That's what everybody always wants to say about me. They're like, oh, you're homeless? Well, why don't you just go to UCLA? Just walk in there, they'll accept you. Just walk in there. And then as soon as, dude, this is the first thing that, like, people in Los Angeles do. They're like kind of halfway stupid, halfway not stupid, kind of like New York. I don't want to say anything about New York. So, also because I've never been there, so I can't even if I want to. The point is like, they'll be like, oh, well, what about you, Matthew? You know, why don't you get your stuff together, you know, type of deal. Just redirecting the fucking responsibility, and it's like, it's not even a low blow. You're just literally lazy about defending yourself in anything. That's just my opinion.
What's up, man?
How's it going, man?
Good, how are you, brother?
Pretty good, pretty good. Oh, shit. Oh. Man.
This seafood has no respect. Yeah.
So apparently, other stops close. And I mean, I don't know. I'm not a very paranoid person ever. Like, and I'm not even saying that delusionally, or I'm not even saying that biasly. Like, that's a lot coming from my mouth, because I've never been a confident person necessarily, especially like just growing up. And also, I've never been one to like even kind of see if I could make sense of things. And paranoia is beyond making sense of things. Just accusing and feeling, unreasonably cornered. Because get it, paranoia is like healthy, but only if it's needed, obviously. But why does the stop have to freaking be in front of Jeep? Like, I don't know. Any country could do this, by the way, but America is trippy because if you get accosted in America, or like you have anything happen to you, you get wronged by anybody, there's like a certain level of like just meaning behind how you're inconvenienced or you're harassed or you're harmed. And the reason why I'm mentioning Jeep is because like I've always wanted a Jeep, actually. In fact, I used to window shop online because I thought I was going to be able to do a lot more in my future, but that was not the case. And I mean, I don't know. I could keep going on and on about Los Angeles, but at the end of the day, I'm working on myself. Okay? And I'm not saying I know it happens. I also get, like, happens, like, good things happening. You only want good things happening. If it just happens to be anything that's, gosh, I've just been talking for so long, I like totally blanked out and lost my train of thought. And especially because this abscess, like, yeah, I mean, it literally like takes a lot from my life and not even just my day. And on top of that, I'm taking antibiotics, and they say that I'm not supposed to be taking so many antibiotics, but they'll literally give it to me anyway. It doesn't matter which hospital, I mean. Which is funny because I used to get the hashtags of Michael Jackson, hashtag Michael Jackson on YouTube. And thinking about it now, if it doesn't have anything to do with Epstein, it probably has to do directly with him, because, like, I'm not the greatest singer, but I'm pretty decent, I guess. But that's besides the point. It's like that when his doctor basically did what he did, it shook up the medical world, because it's like, oh, well, this could happen to this, dang. This could happen to a celebrity, so why can't it just happen to, just any citizen? It's like, because you got to make your money some other way. You got to traffic people, steal copper wire, commit, isn't there a crime with, like, construction work? I forget what it's called. But it's something about, like, how they start doing construction in certain areas to, like, basically garner money, racketeer money. I don't know exactly what the term is. Anyway, dude. That's it for the video, because I have a lot more that I'm going to put up. And maybe I don't have to have, a good life in everybody else's life. I'll have a good life, in my own, and be fulfilled with whatever I want to do. really wish, like, I don't wish for anything, actually. Like, I know people are just so offended by anything that starts going good for me. I could literally just get a hotel for like less than a week from not even myself, but basically the government, the city government, Los Angeles. And people will act like I literally just became a millionaire. And it's really ironic, but people can get away with whatever they want. The only reason why I don't even know Maduro. The only reason why Maduro is in prison and even just, captured and brought to America is because he said something about the Epstein list. That's the only reason. There's no other reason. He's just like, I want to see if I could, leak this stuff. Even though that I was the one that was trafficking first and probably had ties to Trump because, he wanted in on this trafficking a little bit. Or he wanted in as a client. It's the same thing with Mexico. It's like the same exact thing. Like, Mexico is all offended. And then, like, Mexico's president gets groped in public, which basically means, like, somebody touched her, like, inappropriately. And nobody even really freaking cares. It's just crazy, so. Los Angeles, don't end up like Mexico. And if you do, I best believe that you'll have a crazy party out in West Hollywood if you let either Gavin Newsom or Karen Bass get groped in public. I also get it, inclusiveness, man or a woman. Could even be a transvestite. What if we had a transvestite mayor in Los Angeles? I actually do wonder how that would go. That would be pretty crazy. I think like people would kind of lose their minds. I think a lot of people would move out. New people, especially kids that didn't grow up on Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network or grow up on any cartoons and anything else, grew up on the Epstein list. That was their form of entertainment. Going to weird parties, having weird relationships with like not only their parents but parents of other parents, and just gets into a whole mess after that. So God bless everybody.